Tony Brown, former MHK for Castletown from 1981 to 2011. I was a minister, Speaker of the House of Keys and Chief Minister when I retired. What I think they've got to really think is how much they care about the area they want to represent, how much they want to be involved with people, because it's all about people. I mean, they have to go in knowing that they're going to get lobbied, they're going to get hassle from people, they have to deal with some very intimate stuff with people they represent. Confidentiality is critical, and respecting the people that you represent. So it's quite complex. I mean, there's a lot of work, and then on top of that, you're going to have to spend your first 5 years at least learning how legislation works, how to put it in place. They have to have an understanding of our constitution, because that's critical to how the Isle of Man remains as it is at the moment and moves forward. So, it's not just a matter of saying I want to stand for the Keys because I just want to be a member of the Keys. There's actually a lot more to it than that. And enthusiasm, vision, somebody's willing to listen, somebody's willing to fight for what they believe is right, and somebody who's willing to get on with the job and work long hours, because it is long hours. And it has quite a big impact on your family. I mean, you have to recognise that. When you're standing for the House of Keys, I mean, election time is a very busy time. Most of us used to lose weight, about a stone or so, because you're walking around a lot, you're not eating as much because you haven't got the time to have the luxury of sitting back eating, but you're busy. It's a very, very busy period for yourself. You're leading a campaign, you've got helpers, you're leading those helpers, you're coordinating how they work with the help of your family and friends, but it's a lot of work to put together a campaign to actually go forward and tell people why you want to represent them. And quite clearly, being honest is very important, because people, they give you a lot of trust. Because we don't have a party political system, then what you have is people basing it on you. They trust you to do the job for them, and that trust is something I think is absolutely paramount in how you go forward. No, social media is a component, but I think that you can't beat the personal touch. People want to talk to you, people want to see you, people want to understand what you're about. You can put as much as you like, either through the press, through radio, through social media, whatever you want to do, but there's nothing like people talking to you face to face, because they can pick up your vibes, they can understand you better, they can ask you questions, and it's not a matter of sitting back and thinking of an answer. You've actually got to respond pretty quickly. So there's nothing more effective, I think, than being on the ground and talking to people and dealing directly with them. Well, that day is a long day. It starts first thing in the morning, goes right through till the end of the count, and usually after that, if you're, well, whether you're successful or not, you tend to mark the occasion with a drink or two, and to celebrate with your family and friends and thank them. But it's a long day. You have to be at the polling stations, and of course when there's more than one, you have to have family and friends and supporters who are helping you as well in those areas, and you have to move around to be seen, to acknowledge people as they go in and out the polling station. But of course what you can't do on that day is go around knocking on doors and trying to get elected. You have to let others do that. You have to be seen, in my view, at the polling station. Well, I think the best advice I can give is what I was advised and what I did, and that is, for the first certainly couple of years, listen carefully, learn. Don't necessarily do what people tell you, do what you believe is right for your constituents, what you believe in yourself, and you've got to balance all that up. And of course, importantly, learn to understand how, one, the government system works, how Tynwald operates, and how the legislation works. The most important job of an MHK, and the greatest responsibility that they have, is actually passing legislation. Legislation can't be just changed at a whim like a policy. And also it affects how we all live. It's how children live, it's how we live as adults. It affects our way of life, it affects absolutely everything. It determines whether we're going to be successful or not, whether we can make opportunities for the Isle of Man to be successful. So learning and understanding legislation is absolutely critical to the job of MHK. And on top of that, of course, they have to deal with constituency matters, they have to deal with people. So it's all a very complex sort of system, and you have to put it all together in your mind, and you have to make it work. And yes, you know, initially that will take time, because most people really, if they've never been, even if they've been in local government, if they've never been in Tynwald, don't understand the complexities of how it operates, how the Keys operates. It's not a committee, it's not just sitting in a room having a chat. You've actually, you know, in a formal setting, making decisions that affect every man, woman and child on this island, and therefore it's very important you understand when you're being asked to make changes, which might be by government, it might be by others, that you understand the implications of those changes, because once you've made them, it's very hard to go back and undo what you've made.